Welcome to the Flivver channel live stream. Tonight we have the usual collection of YouTube hooligans. Randall from the YouTube channel Shed by the Tracks. Randall is an honorary member of Possum Lodge and brings his unique blend of grandpa humor to our show. Randall's incredible home-built speedster, the Prairie Flyer, is a wonder. He claims to have designed it all in CAD, that's cardboard and determination. Rob's enthusiasm for Ford Model Ts and Model As is outshone only by his generosity to others. Rob's family are Model T people going back generations, and he is a wizard at repair and maintenance. Vince from the YouTube channel Baggett Corner. Vince focuses on stationary hit-and-miss engines, and more recently, restoring a fantastic original Ford Model TT truck. There's nothing he can't fix. And I'm Steven. My channel, Flivver Channel, focuses on the quirky characteristics of antique cars. I explore the fun and challenge of owning and driving a Model T, and the history of early automobiles. Thanks for joining us tonight. Feel free to comment in the chat. Ask us anything. We monitor the chat and will try to respond to most questions. Hey, hello everyone.
Hey Steven, hey Randall.
Hello guys. How's everybody doing?
Terrible, but thanks for asking.
Well, the heat of summer is here. There's no snow to shovel. That's good.
Sorry, I had a big sprayer just went by.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah,
you moving your chair or what?
Yeah, it's not like that.
Oh, there you
The
go.
heat of summer, we're right into it now. Are we in summer or are we still in spring? I don't know.
June 21st, it became summer.
Oh,
We're in
okay.
summer.
We're in summer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
So, out in the shed, but it's not too hot today, thank heavens.
It gets really hot here. My shop floor actually sweats.
Yeah.
It gets pretty nasty.
Well, tonight we thought we'd just field questions from our dedicated audience members here, but if they really want to make us sweat, they won't ask any, and we'll have to keep trying to come up with things to talk about.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that they can kind of start a conversation that we can keep rolling. And I think we can each give a little update to everyone out in YouTube land about what's coming from our channels and what we're up to and that sort of thing. I know Randall's been making videos regularly, focusing a lot on his Buick and his son's Ranchero. Is that still the themes coming up, Randall?
Well, yeah, pretty much. Been pretty hot here, so I haven't been over to Jeremiah's a whole bunch. After he works all day, he's not in a big hurry to go out and scrape mud off of the engine block or anything.
Yeah. That's good. The Buick's running well.
Yeah. I took it to its first inaugural car show. You know, one that I had to actually pay money to get into.
Oh, is this and this is trophies possible? Can you get one that's bigger than the last one?
No, it's not going to win any trophies.
It should though. It should. I think we have actually, while we're talking Buicks, somewhere here, we've got, here we go. Here's a little what's coming trailer from Randall, so everybody can enjoy, just a few minutes long. And we've already got some questions coming in too, so we'll get to those in a moment. But here, just for everybody's enjoyment, Randall's trailer.
Well, we got a little job today. I got a new ground strap. We're gonna put this on. Yeah. One bolt. How hard can it be? Yeah, we're in real trouble now. Part. We're headed to a car show in Albernette. This year we're taking the Buick instead of the Model T. So we'll take some video there, and hopefully I can round up a hot dog somewhere.
Boy, it looks flat. That's a great little trailer. And you just whipped that up today. That was awesome.
Yeah, after you said if you guys got any videos, I went through it and whipped it together.
Yeah. Yeah, it's if you remember last episode, I had trouble whenever I played videos directly online, we don't get sound. The only way we get sound is if I've got the files on my computer before the show and I kind of load them into the show. So learning slowly what it takes.
I wouldn't have the slightest idea.
Man, that looked flat as you were driving out to Albernette. Holy cow.
That's a pretty flat area. Now it's not like that everywhere around here, but that area is very flat.
Holy cow. Yeah. Hey, so we got some questions coming in here.
A couple.
Mike McLean, how do you time a Model T engine? Who wants to take that one on? Because I am not the best person to answer that. I'll give my little tidbit in a minute, but I really don't know the proper way to do it.
I could tell you how I do it.
All right, let's go with how Vince does it, and then we'll take it from there.
I'll tell you how I do it. I slide the timing selector all the way up to, and this may not be the right way, but this is how I do it. And I haven't had it break my arm yet. So I slide the timing adjuster all the way up so it's full retard. I go have a look, pull the number one spark plug out, have a look down on top of the on the piston, see where the piston's located, and if the piston is right at, actually just right before top dead center, then I'm perfect. I'm perfectly done. And if not, then I have to have that piston exactly where I want, and then move the timing, bend the timing rod to adjust to be full retard on the. I don't know. Does that really explain it? I don't know. It's not. It's easier to show it, but that's how I do it. And if number one piston is good, they're all good.
How do you tell if it's at top dead center? Just by eye looking through the spark plug hole?
Looking down the spark plug hole.
I know some people bend up a wire just in a the dog leg, so you can drop it in, then you can see it moving up and down with the piston.
I think there are probably people that use dial indicators and get it figured out. But that ain't
Randall's shaking his head. I think Randall might have a different story on how timing is done.
I shoved a Phillips screwdriver down in there and just
watch
the top go up and down.
When it stops rising, that's when you're right there.
Yeah.
That's where you be full retard on timing.
You know, always make sure that you can, jack that timing back and retard it. Yeah. And that car is never going to bite you if you can do that.
Yeah.
I
always figured that since I have manual timing control, I don't really need to set the timing. I can do it while I'm driving. The trouble is, I get it. If you don't have it, if you can't go retarded enough, then you're going to be in trouble. So as long as you can go full retard or more, then you can just use the manual lever to
It'll-
find the sweet spot.
You know,
Right?
they say never go full
You
retard,
can-
so I don't know. I'm not too sure.
You can retard it so far that the engine just won't run.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to kick you, but it just won't run.
It won't run.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's part of my starting problem. It may, I may be going too far back,
Yeah, too far retarded.
and it won't. I am very retarded. There's a clip. There's a clip you can use in the
If
future.
there's some way you can turn on closed captioning so I can see what you're sticking in there.
That one, I'm gonna regret that one. I can tell. Yeah.
You know, I think I've done. It's almost second nature. Like there's not much mystery. I've done set the timing on so many freaking hit and miss engines and motors over the years. It's just kind of, well, that's just how it goes, right?
So
I
Mike,
thought it was 15 after top dead center. Man, I hope it ain't. Oh, sorry.
man.
No, wait a sec, Mike. Yeah, no, you're actually right. So not before top dead center, but the piston should be at top dead center or just slightly on the downward travel. When I said
Yeah.
before, I meant the opposite, actually. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's correct. There you go. You got your first bit
there,
of that advice.
there are very detailed, precise instructions on the interwebs about how to do it. I've never done it, and I'm sure that they're overkill. But hey, nothing wrong with being careful either and doing it that way.
A friend of mine has a 1923, and he's investigated this timing thing until there's just, right down to the gnat's ass. And when he drives that thing, it just drives me crazy. He is moving that timing rod all the time. I'm going up a 2% grade. I need to, back it off a little, and then he'll get up. And I'm going, just stop it. Put it right there and leave it alone.
Yo,
Yeah, but he never watches this show, so you don't have to worry about him hearing that. Oh gosh, yeah. I think timing's, because you can manually adjust it.
Yeah.
There's only so much you need to do in terms of setting up the timing rod. Now you need to be on the right teeth on the timing gear and the cam, obviously. That's a whole nother thing. But presuming that that's all correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as timing on valves, like you're right, that has to be just right. And I haven't had to time this one yet, but I would time this one, the truck, identical. And once you've timed one cylinder, the cam hasn't changed, right? Nothing has changed there. So if I time the first cylinder, and the way I time, I basically time with the exhaust port in mind, and that the exhaust port should start to open right at bottom dead center and be totally closed at top dead center. So you have time then for the intake suction to pull the fuel in. So it's the same as a small engine, realistically, as a 4-stroke small engine. So
Here we go. The answer from the expert.
from Bruce. At top dead center, timer rod should be at 12 o'clock position in full retard position. Hey, Bruce. Hi.
Hey, Bruce.
You can't manually adjust the retard anymore. I mean, besides a felony, it's 2025. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
One says he's at some kind of a hockey they got hockey going on in July. What's going on? Holy cow.
Hockey, what's that?
Yeah, I know, right? So he's scheduled to live on day 2 of hockey preseason development camp. You had 2 whole weeks after the Stanley Cup final with no hockey, but the draft and free agency. Oh, brother, man. I'm not a hockey watcher, even though I'm Canadian. I don't have much interest in hockey.
Oh, wow. Here's something from Bugnut. Interesting.
A 12?
I noticed that the 1 millionth Model T that drove across America had a 12-volt alternator installed for GPS charging a cell phone. Is that something you guys might do? Well, I can go first. Let's see if I can remember how to control things here. Sorry, guys. I don't have Rob helping me in the back end today, and it is me struggling along. There we go. So, upgrading to 12 volts. I'm kind of a 6-volt purist. I don't know why. I kind of like keeping the car on 6 volts. It makes it more difficult to do things like GPS and smartphone charging, but you can still do it. There are voltage boosters that you can get that'll take you from 6 volts up to 12, so you can run your accessories and that sort of thing. And I'd rather do that because then it doesn't change the car in any way. It just adapts it with modern electronics for the devices that you need, and you can always just remove that and have the car right back to original. But hey, that's just how I look at it.
Uh-oh. Where'd he go?
Lost Steven.
There, I'm back. See? So I'm trying to do 3 things at once, and I really can't walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I assume there are 6 to 12 volt transformers or something that you could use. So I don't know much about it. I've never done it. I just leave home with a fully charged phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you alternators,
Use your phone at home and enjoy life.
alternators are a lot less worrisome than generators. Obviously, generators, you got to keep an eye on that voltmeter, or sorry, that ammeter on the dash. I mean, Henry Ford wouldn't have put anything on there that you didn't absolutely have to have, because he could have saved the buck, right? So the fact that their only instrument on the car is an ammeter means that it's absolutely crucial to have and to keep an eye on. And that's how you can make sure that you're not overcharging your battery or you're not failing to charge your battery, either of which can lead to a bad day. Yeah.
This Joe is saying, knowing that upgrades aren't always good, is there a feature or technology from an older model that you think would have been useful and should have been included in the current T?
Oh, yes. But I'll let you guys, I answer the last one. You guys go ahead.
I don't know. I have no clue about that. Feature or technology from an older model that you think would be useful? Yeah, you got me. You have to ask Steven about that and Randall. I got nothing.
What do you think, Randall? What kind of Model T era tech do you wish the T had?
Aftermarket or
yeah, just from the technology of the era, like.
Well, I'd love to have overhead valves and everything else. Like
yeah, and there are overhead valve kits available from the era.
If you have a child to sell, you can get one.
Yeah, mortgage the house, that kind of thing.
I can't think of anything from the earlier models that I would want, because all that bad stuff kind of got phased out. Yeah.
Now Mike suggests disc brakes, but I don't think anybody had disc brakes in that era. At least if they did, they were really bleeding edge. So I think that disqualifies that suggestion from this particular question.
I don't get the disc brake thing at all, because the only thing they can do is you can lock up your wheels just a half a second faster than I can with the handle. I mean, once they're locked up, that's all the brakes you got.
Yep. Yeah, maybe some modulation improvements. I don't know. I've never driven a T with disc brakes, but
because I have a truck, I don't get going that fast. So the brakes that I have been sufficient for me. So I haven't had to worry about it.
This particular topic, brakes, is going to come up again in my little look forward to an upcoming video, because I did some filming live while I was, well, not live, but I did some filming while I was driving, and I had a traffic light turn red just at that wrong moment, and I had to stand on the pedal and lay down some 11s to get her to come to a stop, and I got it on film, so I'll be sharing that with you guys a little later today.
It'll get tricky, and you
get that face, like,
yeah,
is it gonna stop?
The point, right? It's that point where could I make it, and you think, no, I can't make it. I gotta get
the jump on the brake pedal. Yeah.
I think I had one of those butt puckering moments when I was trailering my truck into town for that show last weekend, where it was like, it's turned to yellow, and I don't think I can make it through. And I got this truck basically just wheel strapped on the trailer. I'm like, okay, we're gonna find out if those wheel straps work.
Yeah, otherwise your TT truck comes up and kisses your modern truck in the backside, huh?
That's right. But it helped. So we're good.
All right, but I still have an answer for Joe because, and I've been on this little tirade before, but I think shock absorbers, dampers from the era are the upgrade that I'm most interested in trying on the Model T. So as you know, I bought a bunch down at Hershey. I haven't had any time to work with them. They're exactly as I bought them, but someday I will get those on the T and do a before and after and some close-up video over some rough train tracks and that kind of thing. I really want to see how that changes the behavior.
Was that those strap dampeners that you got?
Yeah.
Yeah. This would be interesting to see. Randall, you had one or two there sitting in the shop there when I was there.
Yeah, I run those for about a year and a half.
Oh.
Until I put those modern shocks on it,
Mm-hmm.
and they work. They'll cut down any kind of shock. Will cut down on the thing skittering as you go around a corner.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, because they'll kind of do that if you go around a corner fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
But they work. Those what are they? Snubbers.
Snubbers, exactly. Yep. So I'm really keen. I've got enough to do the whole car, so it'll be a project to figure out how to mount them, and then I want to get them in the lab too and see kind of what kind of force it takes to move them and how they behave first, so I kind of understand what they're doing.
Yeah, I missed out on all that. I know one thing. I now that I've had modern shocks on it, I wouldn't stick them back on.
Yeah, modern shocks work better and less maintenance, right?
Yeah.
Good question, Joe. Thank you for that one.
Yeah, good question.
Here's something from one. He suggests motorcycle disc brakes might work well.
Yeah.
Could be. Heck, some of the bicycle disc brakes that are around these days would probably be good enough. Some of those are pretty remarkable.
Well, yeah.
Vince, we've lost you, buddy. Something's going on. There we go.
More a lot of farm tractors and everything going by here. But one was saying that, and I got a nice shadow line right through the middle of my head here now, so we'll go with that.
Oh, that's the sunshine coming in.
Yeah. One was saying that he actually bought a vehicle. Where did we go back here?
Yeah, he said he's got parts of a Model T.
Transmission rear end. He needs to do all the timing. Okay, make a 3-pedal. Okay, interesting. That should be. I don't know. What you should do is make a YouTube channel if you don't have one, so we can follow.
Darn right.
More with our
None of us have been successful at it. You ought to try it.
And then you can have an infectious personality. I mean, like, how many infections does a man need in his life, really?
That's right.
All right. Well, I think it's time to play my little trailer since I was talking about. Oh, there goes my camera.
Whoops.
I need more views so I can afford a new camera. All right. I have a little trailer for an upcoming video I've been working on. So let us roll this. I'm Steven from Flivver Channel. I'm here today with my young friend Taven.
Hello, guys.
So I've invited him along to annual car show and cruise night here in Brantford, Ontario. It's called the... What's it called?
I don't know what it's called, to be honest. scariest moment you've ever had in the Model T?
Oh, people pulling out in front of you, assuming that you have a regular car with modern brakes. I've laid a black 11 on the asphalt when I had to lock up the rear tires not to slam into somebody. That's quite the graffiti. Can you get that? Normally they just write their name. That was a little more.
Yeah, you do get a lot of head turns in this car. It's nice. A lot of people honking and smiling. It's nice.
Yeah, you're asking about audio clues. The horn is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that is cool.
I always honk for kids. I tell my wife, my son, whoever's with me that I'm doing it for the kids, but really,
It's for yourself.
I'm doing it for myself. Let's face it. That was about it. That was all she wrote. Now that brake's really hot. It's not going to be happy.
No. Like yellow lights have been the scariest moment in this car for me.
He wasn't even scared. I think you were scared, Steve.
I was. Oh, sorry. There we go. Got my controls back here. So yeah, funny that we were talking about that. Oh, dear. Yeah, I'm surprised when I watch the videos how often I squeal the tires going around corners. I think they're really sensitive. It's so narrow, and I don't know. Maybe I'm driving like a hooligan. I don't know.
That's also one of those questions, right? Like, what tire pressure should you run? I've read
that. Well, I'm running those big Model A tires. I run down 18, 19 psi.
Oh wow,
That really helps the car ride nice.
yeah, for sure. I got mine on the truck running at 30 psi, which is about the least I would want to run my thing on there.
Yeah.
Well, those clinchers are supposed to be high pressure, 60, 70, 80, but they just ride like horrible. It's like a buckboard.
Yeah. Well, lucky you don't go too fast. What else we got? No other questions? Come on, there's got to be something to talk
You
about.
guys aren't asking
We can
any
give you-
of the tough ones yet.
Give you bad information on anything. What do you want to know about?
We're experts in every topic, in our own minds anyway.
I like this Total Tech child for sale or trade for overhead valve cylinder head.
Try that on Marketplace.
You'll get a visit from the local constabulary, I think.
Yeah.
Even if you're just joking.
Well, so you guys know about this, but some of the folks watch and haven't seen yet because I haven't posted up the video from all the freaking video I've been shooting. But I went to my first car show last Saturday, and I was a scramble, man. It was just, I had got home from being up north at a fishing trip, home, and then scrambled to like 1 o'clock in the morning, getting stuff together. I wanted to put a hit and miss engine in the box, and what I have to do, check the lube, put grease in the cups, get everything kind of make sure nothing with the steering wasn't going to fall apart. Make sure I had pins and everything right. It's kind of one of those things you're like kind of worrying, what if this thing falls apart as I'm going to the show, right? And then I had only strapped it onto the trailer once before, so me and my dad was out here and we're strapping it down at 11 o'clock at night, and you can't see the best. The mosquitoes are freaking eating you alive up here. And so we got it all buttoned up about 1 o'clock in the morning. And so I got the best sleep of my life. No, I did not actually get a very good sleep at all. I think I was up at like 3 or 4 times during the night. Yeah, I wasn't really nervous, but you know, the times that you want to sleep well so you're ready for the next day, that doesn't happen. You never get that. Anyway, got to the place here about 7:30 in the morning, headed to town, and I almost didn't get out of the gas station to get to town on time because, and I had never experienced this, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this, and a lot of you guys in the comments, viewers have experienced this, but the questions when you go to a gas station are numerous. Yeah, you almost can't get out of there because you finish answering one guy and you're like, okay, I'll get out of here now, slip out. Another guy comes over, it's just like, wow, what is going on? I'm like, okay, like I don't want to come across as some egomaniac, but if people have questions, I want to tell them what this is all about, right? So managed to roll out of the gas station about a half hour later. It was kind of funny. And got to town. They had the Vintage Cruisers Car Club in Portage, and there was a really good attendance there. So me and Dad kind of slipped in right at the start and got a nice shady spot because it was pretty hot, and I might have had a cooler with a little bit of beer in it. Maybe I didn't have that. I'm not too sure. And it was good. The water, sorry. And so this is the interesting thing about going to a car show. And I was never really a guy for car shows because I always thought of it as just a guy kind of just bragging about himself. But there's actually, and I'm wrong, because there's actually people really interested in a lot of this stuff. Like there's people genuinely interested. You're not just going there to blow your own horn, or at least I wasn't anyway. And I had a hit and miss engine on the back, and people would come up, and you know what's funny is the number of people who are interested in the truck or the hit and miss engine on the back was like 50-50. Like there's people crowded around the back of the truck, hanging over the truck, looking at the engine, wondering what it was, and then same amount of people interested in the truck. And so I didn't get away from our little spot there for like hours just answering questions, and they would say, well, does it run? I'm like, yeah, I'll fire it up. I don't want to aggravate other people with noise and stuff and smoke, but I'll fire it up for you. That's why I brought it. So
when you go to those shows, if it's a good show, you never get to see the show yourself because you're way too busy hosting your car. Yeah, I found that at the Brantford show I just did there. That little video clip was about it. I just stayed at my car. I didn't get to see any of the rest of it. That was nice having my young friend there with me too. He went out and did all the photographic work and the filming while I just stayed and answered questions.
I didn't win a giant trophy, unfortunately. I wasn't. It would have been nice to get a giant trophy, but I didn't get a giant trophy. But I did a lot of answering questions and chatting. Like the biggest fun was just talking with people and chatting, and then they tell you about their experiences with their own stuff, whatever they're doing. It's kind of a lot of fun. And I think I was pretty close to the Mayor's Award because he came over, the guy who was choosing for the Mayor's Award, like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, you needed to schmooze a little more. You got to.
I should have been a little more. The payola, digging the pocket. But a Highboy 32 coupe won it again for the second or third year or something. So, but you know what, that Highboy was freaking sick looking. Like it looked awesome. So I'm not in the least bit bothered winning anything. I had a really good time. Will I do another one? I don't know. I mean, we're kind of doing one at the end of July when we go over to Austin for the Threshman's Reunion because they have a parade and then an area where you can run your antique engines, and I'll put a John Deere engine on there and stuff like that because it's a John Deere year there. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll see how it goes. Should be fun. Kim was out. She hung around, so she was a pretty good sport about it all. And my dad kind of sat there, and he had his 53 Meteor there. So yeah, it was, all in all, I think it was a really good experience. I really enjoyed it. So I probably would do it again.
Yeah.
Cool. Can't wait to see the videos. That'll be neat.
I got lots of videos, so no worries there.
Yeah, people do love to ask questions. That's why when I'm at a car show, and you can always tell when they're coming up to you to start asking you questions, about the car. I always point at somebody else and say, yeah, it's his car, and then I walk off. But free
Good move.
see the show.
Yeah. That's good.
You're right. You never really get to see that. Like I said, I never experienced this where people are really that interested. But yeah,
You should leave your dad there beside the truck and go see the show, and he has to
There you
answer
go.
all the
probably
questions.
should have. Yeah, I should have done. I don't know if he's in the audience now. He probably didn't catch the alert today, but whatever. And I didn't have time to let him know. But
I made one of those sandwich boards that kind of answers all the basic questions. So if I'm not around,
yeah, I'm going to do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's helpful. We
We got
got a fantastic question from Bruce here.
We've got a few questions. Yeah.
What's Bruce say?
What do you think we can do to keep the younger generation interested in the Model T hobby? This is a really good question. Now, we're going to have lots of ideas here today, and you can bet that we all believe we're experts. But anyway, they're just some ideas. But I find the young guys, I haven't found too many young ladies get all that interested in the T, but lots of the young guys do. I mean, they get it somehow. Like that young fella I had in that little clip I was showing you, he's never really been into cars, but man, he just no end of questions and super curious and finds it all very fascinating and wants to take pictures. And so we need more people like that. I think more than anything, we just need to show the cars to young people. And that's not going to be easy because you got to get the cars in front of them somehow. And, YouTube isn't going to do it. I'm not sure they're going to click on my channel anyway. Maybe they want to see a master like Randall at work, but for my stuff, they're just going to click on right on through. But I think we got to get it in front of them somehow. So I'm going to make more of an effort to offer it up to the local high school, like to pop in for a day, and to maybe next year I'll try and get out to some of the car shows that mostly focus on the new, like on the import hot rods and that kind of thing, because I think they'll find it interesting, just the contrast to the cars that they're into.
I think they will, because any modern car, has a long lineage from the original car going back 100 years, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a long timeline between yours and theirs, and where they ended up is where yours begins. So I think it's pretty interesting. I'd be surprised if somebody with one of these whatever modern tuner cars would not be interested in something like that.
Well, and when they learn how affordable a Model T is, right? Like if you're into cars and you want a hobby car, there is nothing more affordable than a Model T.
Mm-hmm.
Like even an old Honda Civic's more costly than a Model T.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So that same question, I'll answer. Or Randall, you got your answer ready for that before I kind of babble on for a couple of minutes?
What this is what do we do for the children, Dale?
Yeah, how do you get the younger generation interested in
My
Model
advice
T?
is ignore them totally.
Tell them where to go. They respond better to that.
Other people's kids are nothing but trouble.
Crusty guy from Iowa. There's his input. He's an expert too. I mean, they're all experts. I don't know. So yeah, Bruce. I mean, this is a question that comes up no matter what you do. If it's old, so it could be antique tools. It could be antique hit and miss engines like I work on. It could be antique cars. It could be like antique anything. That's a hobby, right? So what do we do to keep those people interested? I mean, you can't force their interest, but I think when they come up, you do not avoid them. You get right up to them and chat with them a little bit and try to garner their interest and try to encourage their interest and encourage the interest, I think, too, of their parents. So when I was there, again, like I'm no expert on car shows, but I had parents come up and there's like 1927 and then there's that, and then I would go engage the kids and I'm like, that is only, 92 years older than you, so it's not so bad. But stuff like that, you just engage them and chat with them. And when I see little kids kind of, as you say, you want to sit inside, you want to sit on the seat and have a look around, or you want to that's it. You want to what do you do? Whatever you want to do. You're not going to break it. It doesn't matter to me. Go ahead. Just have a good time.
As long as you've disabled the electrical system, so when they stand on the starter, it doesn't go.
Oh no! Like I get them to try to crank it, and then they all get flipped over the freaking hood. It's a blast.
Yeah.
Little broken arms. I mean, a little kid's got to get a broken arm sometimes. So.
Yep. Yep. Somehow we got to get them behind the wheel of them and driving them in, unusual places. You're never going to get the same thrill driving a Model T on the highway that you get from a modern car. But you take a Model T on a C road that's full of muddy potholes and sticks across and things, and it's pretty fun to drive if we can find ways to get them out.
Get kids driving, man. Steven, I can barely drive mine. I don't know how we're gonna get the kids driving.
Well, I think they'd figure it out in seconds.
I think they probably would.
What I have noticed at the car shows when it comes to kids is, guys our age, a lot of them are into the 70s Cudas and the Camaros and all that kind of stuff. And when you get usually the kids that are like, I don't know, 10 to 18, somewhere in there, they'll walk right by that stuff and come over to either, if I've got the Buick or the T or whatever. It seems like they're more interested in that than, an old man's car. It's what think of a Cuda or a Camaro, even though it's way newer than what I've got,
Mm-hmm. Well, there's so few really old cars shown in my area. And it looks the same at the shows you've highlighted, Randall, and we're waiting to see what Vince has to show, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same. Like, I am almost always the oldest car. Mine's only a 1926. Yeah. And I mean the oldest by miles, because at that Brantford show, I mean, there must have been 300, 400 cars. It was huge. There wasn't even a Model A that wasn't hot rodded, right? Yeah, really. I was like the only pre-war car that was original. And I find that amazing because I know there's lots around. They just don't bring them out to shows. So I don't know. I think we need to get them out to a lot more shows, get kids sitting in them. And Bruce, I don't know how, but I think the best answer is we got to find some way to get them driving them somehow, whether they build it themselves in high school and then we take it out to some local field and do some sort of challenges, or I don't know, something like that. Get them hooting and hollering. I think it's going to really get them interested.
The oldest one, the closest age to mine was that 32 Coupe. But it's it's totally done up, right? It's all modded. So yeah, I mean, that's great and all, and it kind of has that look of something original, but it's not original. I think it's beautiful. It was beautiful work. I really appreciate it and respect that, but it's not original, right? So the closest in age to mine that was original was a early 40s GMC, and there was a lot of vehicles. Well, for me, I thought there was a lot of vehicles, very well attended. Yeah, like when people would come up, like I say again, I've never been to one of these things. I just thought, when people have questions, you ask them or you answer them. When they say, "Hey, how does it start?" You just start it, and I just, you want to see how it starts? Sure, I'll start it up for you. So I must have started it, I don't know how many freaking times via the Randall kickstart method. I started.
Yeah.
And there was a few people came running over when I had the hit and miss engine running, thinking I had the Model T running. And I'm like, no, it doesn't run that bad. 4 cylinders running there, not just the one. So it's kind of
I have it on good authority that the Harley Davidson guys learned how to start their bikes from Randall.
Yep, I would agree.
I get a lot of grief about that. You're going to break your leg and all this stuff. Number one, learn how to set your timing. Number one. Number two,
refer to the beginning of this video. Yes. Number two.
They don't take into account that my T is setting 5 inches lower to the ground than everybody else's. So, when I put my foot on that thing, I don't have my leg way up in the air like that.
Well, yeah, and you're 6'5". You're 6'5", so obviously no problem.
It's more like starting a bike.
So yeah.
What's Joe got to say here? Major car show for here is coming up the 28th and 29th of the month. There are usually at least 600 vehicles. Wow, man. That come maybe only five or six T's and 600 vehicles. Wow, and a handful of A's show up. Wow, that's it. 600 vehicles. So that is a monster. Where is that, Joe? Joe, where is that? That's out in the coast there? Like, where is that? Holy crap, man. That's a lot.
That's a big show, eh? I never, nothing like that around. Well, there's a big show here in the spring, but it's always like I say, the tuner cars, the Japanese cars, and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Bruce, sorry, go ahead, Randy.
I was just wondering, Joe lives
Yarmouth
east, right?
Yeah.
I was just wondering if Bad Chad shows up with any of his circus wagons to that.
Oh, answer. Yeah, Joe, answer that. Does Bad Chad show up at those? He's out at Yarmouth. Joe is out at Yarmouth. I think Bad Chad is Newfoundland? I don't know where he is, but Joe can probably answer that. Oh, yes. I mean, we're way off topic anyway. So, does anyone watch Chad at all? Any of you guys or at all?
Not me. No.
No.
Should I be? I don't know.
I don't know if you want to go down that rabbit hole, Stephen.
Yeah.
What's Bruce say?
Bruce says, I get them in the car. I get them in the car, and if possible, I take them around the block and then let them drive if no one's around. And first, that's a great idea, Bruce. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Bruce. Way to emphasize the fact that I'm just not that nice to be around. Thank you.
If they annoy you, are you allowed to push them out?
Bruce is a lot nicer guy than I think.
Yeah, he has before, not always. Chad is 3 hours from East. Oh, in Nova Scotia. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. But Bruce, that's a fantastic idea. Yeah. Let them try it. Give them the big experience, right? Give them the grand tour. Why not? What the heck?
Geez, Joe, 3 hours. That is just not far enough away.
Okay, so now we know Randall's opinion on this. Okay.
How far is far enough for someone you don't want to meet, Randall?
You got to stay at least above Minnesota.
Well, I mean, Manitoba still made it down to see you, so that's getting pretty far now.
Oh, I give him a hard time. He does what he does.
Yeah. Yeah, Bruce says they already made a movie out of you called Grumpy Old Man. What would that be? Grumpy Old Man 4? I think it's 3 or 4. I don't know what it'd be.
I think it's all an act. I think Randall's really soft.
Who would we pair Randall up with, though? I have no idea.
It's just the TV personality, right?
I have my moments.
Yeah. I think we all aspire to be more of a curmudgeon.
What? I'm wearing the wrong shirt today. What shirts are you guys wearing today? Randall, what do you got on there? What is that shirt? I can't make it out. Cold War Motors.
Yeah, Cold War Motors. Yeah, yep. I like to, make sure I always suck up to a channel that's more successful than me.
Good plan. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's actually wise. I'm wearing Tin Lizzie's Cafe of Sumter, South Carolina.
There you go.
How did you get that? Did you have to pay for that, or did he send it up to you?
I can't answer that question on the grounds I may incriminate myself.
I got you.
Yeah.
I had to pay for mine.
Make sure you watch tomorrow night. It's all about Grumpy. We're gonna watch Bruce, and we're watching tomorrow. I'm heading out on holidays Saturday morning, but we're gonna catch your channel tomorrow. What are you working on tomorrow, Bruce? Is it something working on the Roadster? What are you working on?
Yeah, Bruce has a show tomorrow night. This is his his lead in. Sorry, I've got.
Oh, that's the guy I'm so envious of with his full head of hair. Man, that guy's got some freaking rocking hair on him.
I'm not saying nothing.
I'm not taking my hat off. Forget it.
Full head of hair. What are you talking about?
Nope. Yeah. I don't want to break the illusion.
No, don't do it. Don't do it, Randall.
Yeah, I'm wearing Tin Lizzie's t-shirt, and he had a video, I think it was last night. If you haven't watched it yet, make sure you do. Chattanooga, Tennessee Museum. That museum is amazing.
Wow, that looks
And Todd did an incredible job filming. He's getting really good at these like virtual tours of museums.
doing really well.
The camera quality and the commentary it's just stunning. The number of unbelievably rare and valuable cars in this museum is just out of this world. And they're almost all pre-war, right? Like really interesting stuff, at least to me.
And he is not around tonight, so I'm just going to say and my wife is not around anywhere. So I'm going to say that Todd has probably the most beautiful wife I've ever seen. Nobody tell him that. I think he's got to
Moving on.
That's it, guy.
Oh dear.
Yeah. 70. Wow, 70, man. Lucky him. And Bruce. Well, Bruce doesn't go too far without that hat on, so I'm not too sure. 64. Good for you,
All
Bruce.
right.
You're living the dream. I can tell.
All right. Well, I think then if there's nothing much more, we'll wind things up a little early this evening.
You dragged 13 hours from the east for 45 minutes. We got to have like 2 hours here. What's going on?
I got all dressed up for this and everything.
And I'm cutting us off short. Well, what I'll do here, I'll just sign off and I'll leave it on, and you guys can just go on and on. Say all the things about me that you've been hesitating to say to my face. You know,
I've got them all written down.
No, I got here.
All right, sounds good. I'm ready.
All right, so guys, good to see you again. And next month we'll try and do it. And looking forward to your upcoming videos. And thanks everyone for joining us. I'm going to roll the credits. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks to my guests tonight, Randall, Rob, and Vince. Couldn't do it without you guys. Randall, thanks for the music that you made for the show. And thanks to the viewers who tuned in to listen to us old car guys rambling on about old car stuff. We really appreciate it. Good night.